Welcome back to Northeast Current here on WQPX Digital Channel 32. I'm Jay Pagliaro here at the QPX Studios. Thank you for staying current with us here on the Northeast Current. Now our guest at this time, for those of you that follow the program, a face and a name that may be familiar to you, but for those that it isn't familiar to, let me go ahead and happily introduce her. She is Andrea Koretz, and she's got a great program currently going on. Now, we don't see generosity much in the world today, but Miss Koretz is doing a program that's beyond generous. Now, she's got a house for sale up I believe it's in Mountaintop, correct?
That's correct.
And instead of selling it, because unfortunately she has to move to take care of some family issues, correct? Or
No, it's a good thing. It's an exciting thing. My girls got accepted to a school.
So being her daughter's got accepted to a high-profile school in Harrisburg, she's going to be moving along with them. Now, instead of putting the house on the open market, Miss Koretz is holding a contest that we're going to talk about today. One of you lucky watchers may wind up winning this house. But let's talk to her a little bit about it. First of all, Andrea, thank you for joining us here on the Northeast Current this morning.
Thanks for having me, Jay. This is great.
Honor is mine. Now, first and foremost, let me ask the question. I mean, you know, it's a beautiful house. I mean, we've seen pictures of it. People can check it out online.
Thank you.
Great location. What motivated you to hold this contest rather than putting it on the open market for sale?
Well, what I wanted to do, I have a firm belief that if you want to help yourself, you have to help others. Whatever you put out there is coming back to you. I really need to find a house. We'll probably end up renting when we move down to the Harrisburg area. And I thought, well, regardless, whatever way I go, I have to sell my house. And I thought, if there's a way that I could help someone else get a house, it's going to come back to me and we're going to find a good one, probably a great one. So I thought, yeah, I can go the traditional route. But I really wanted to do something to at least attempt to help somebody, because I know, as you had mentioned, sometimes you don't really hear about the good. And there's a lot of good out there. And through this process, I've seen even more, just making connections. So I just wanted the ability to give it a shot, because I have nothing really to lose. And really, that's what motivated me.
Now, in terms of the contest itself, could you explain to the watchers what kind of contest you're holding, how the people can enter, and just the basics?
Basically, the contest, it cannot be random, because that would be illegal. If it was a random contest, I'd have to have a gambling license. So I definitely checked with my lawyer. And it's a contest, it's an essay contest, basically. But it's not being judged on grammar or spelling. The only two key statements that I listed in the rules are, we want to know why you feel that you would be a good candidate for the house and what this house would mean to you. So we're really looking for something that, an inspiring story, something based on need that would be uplifting, and something that, judges would want to select.
How many entries have you gotten so far?
Well, so far I haven't checked my P.O. box since last week. I haven't gotten any. I've gotten a few emails and obviously getting publicity. So it's about a month now to today's actual date. So I'm thinking it will be picking up soon.
Very nice. Now, if you could explain a little bit about the house for the people that haven't seen it. It's located up in Mountaintop. Maybe a little bit of details about the house, if you could, please.
Sure. The house is a 3-bedroom townhouse. It's 1.5 bath. One is a full bath. The other is a half bath. It's got a deck outside, has central air. It's carpeted, and the kitchen, it's a wood floor. It's a galley kitchen. It's a townhouse, so it's a little bit smaller than your average single home. What else can I tell you? Bathroom, dining room, living room, and there are pictures online too. I have a Facebook page, so it's House Essay Contest Mountaintop, PA. It's in a very quiet neighborhood. It's in a townhouse community. And it's got a little bit of shrubbery, like a small sidewalk in the front, and it's got yard in the back, and there's some common areas in the development too. There's also a playground in the development that you can use, and it's a little bit of a hill in some of the parts, so if you want a good workout or a good bike ride, it's definitely a good place to hang out.
Sounds like it. Just by looking at pictures of it myself. I mean, it's definitely, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like to call a great house, dare I say a dream house, Andrea, and for a price that really you can't beat. Now, if you could, I know a lot of people that may be watching this, obviously we live in a cynical society, and I don't mean to sound that one of those cynical type, but I'm going to ask on behalf of the Northeast Current audience, any catches involved?
No. I'm really doing this because, again, either way, I have to move and I have to find somewhere to live. So I'm trying this as a first, and hopefully it will work for somebody. No, the person who wins the house gets, they of course pay the taxes and their homeowner's insurance and that. But no, there are no catches. There's a homeowners association fee, but no, there's no hidden agendas here or anything. And I know sometimes people think that. The amount of entries that I'm looking for is 580, and that's basically the amount to cover my mortgage. I'm not like making any kind of huge profit here. I added in a few, like $100 just for marketing, because you spend on the flyers, my gas mileage, getting the news out. But there's no, if I go beyond 580, sure, that would be awesome. Right. And I'll keep my fingers crossed. But there's no, right, there's no, some people, unfortunately, focus that, I'm trying to make a lot of money on this, and really, I just don't want a mortgage payment plus a rent payment, probably where I'm going, because that would be, I'm not going to say impossible, but it would be less of a challenge, a lot easier to breathe if I just had one monthly payment to make.
Makes sense. Now, for those that are watching, there are some details about it. She mentioned, obviously, the yearly taxes. We're looking at, from what I'm hearing, about $650, $700 bucks a year for taxes.
Yeah. It was actually, I think it was $650. I think it was. I just checked that, actually. Mm-hmm.
And then the homeowners association. That's usually.
That was I think that was $680. They were very close. The taxes and that, right?
So we're looking at roughly right here, folks. We'll say about $1,300, $1,300, give or take a buck or two. And I got to tell you, $1,300 in this day and age, you're lucky you can get an apartment rent where it's not yours, you're paying to somebody else for that much per month.
No, you're right. And that's not anything you need up front. The homeowners association fee, you can pay that quarterly, monthly, yearly, however you want to do, or just set the money aside. And the taxes, the way I have it now, it's just within my mortgage. So I don't really separately pay that, and that would be, of course, up to the winner.
Right. Now, there is a little bit of an entry fee, too, correct?
The entry fee is $200, yes.
And just to verify, that is $200 is refundable. Minus, I think you said
$10.
about $10 here or there. So
to go for expenses again, right?
So think about this again, folks. $200 entry fee, right at essay. And in terms of words, is there a minimum number of words that you're looking for? Maximum?
No, I don't want to limit people to that. Sometimes, you don't know everybody's story. So some would need to go more in depth, others might be shorter, so whatever the author feels is necessary to get their point across, that would be fine.
Absolutely, and you're looking for the real feel-good story, the real, dare I say, what's that TV show that they used to give people houses? They used to build people houses.
Oh, yeah, I know.
My
daughters would know.
Brain freeze here.
The Home Makeover? Wait, it's some kind of makeover.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those makeover shows, yes.
What are the makeover shows? This is your own version of the Home Makeover. And if I butchered the name of that show, Northeast Current, I apologize in advance. It shows you how much. I just watched The Office for the first time in the season finale, so I'm about 10 years behind the times. I'm just getting caught up on old Cheers episodes. But your chance to get a great home, a wonderful opportunity. Where can the people send their essays to, Andrea?
They can send them to koretzcommunications@gmail.com. Well, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. The P.O. box is, they have to be written, because what's going to happen is we want to be unbiased here. So they will come into a P.O. Box 222, Mountaintop, PA 18707, and somebody will be logging them in as whatever the personal information is, but then they'll be whiting out the names, the address, so there's no bias when the judges actually look at the papers. So and I just wanted to comment too, some people might be deterred if they think, oh, I don't really have a great story. And I don't think that's true. Everyone has a story. And the more I meet, and just going through my own personal life, there's so many stories out there, and you might not think yours is significant, but it is. So don't feel like you have to be down in the dumps and, on Skid Row to attempt this. Your story is as important as anybody else's, so I would just say if you feel that there's a desire that, yes, you'd like to, maybe make a better life for yourself or your children, yeah, take the chance. I've met some people through this process of just distributing flyers. There was one girl who said, I live with my dad and I'm in a terrible section in town. I would love to come up to Crestwood School District. And I'm like, yeah, try it, talk to your dad. You just never know what people are dealing with. And something like a home could change somebody's whole life.
Absolutely could. As a non-homeowner myself, I'm going to tell you, Don't be surprised if you get a letter in the mail from a certain particular Northeast.
Well, I won't see it. I won't see any of them.
I don't know any names. I'm not but that's definitely a great opportunity. And you said judges. How many are going to be judging this?
3 will be judging. So, and if anyone is interested, I'll throw that out there. I'm still looking for one. So it's got to be non-biased, and that's difficult because you have to get someone I don't know. So it's difficult coming up to say, hey, how are you? I know you don't know me, but I want you to judge this contest. So I'm still looking for another.
Well, for any of our Northeast Current watchers, if you do want to be part of this fantastic contest, Andrea is looking for a judge, somebody where you're not just judging, a $50 gift card to Alfredo's, cheap plug. Yes. You have the opportunity legitimately to change somebody's life here. So please feel free to get a hold of Andrea and be part of this festivities. And real quick, before we wrap things up today, I know you mentioned you have a communications firm going up, and I've been doing a little bit of research on it for young girls, correct?
That's right.
Could you explain a little bit about that to me?
I'd be happy to. I have Koretz Communications, which is really a very small startup company, just myself right now. But I had, and I don't want to get too emotional, but I had a crisis in my personal life. And that was a good question, Jay. And what I found through it, through friends and talking to people in my family, it was someone who was very close to me that basically it ended up being a very big, I'm still living through, financial crisis. And I thought to myself, if I personally was stronger, maybe more confident in who I was, perhaps I could have avoided everything. Wasn't so much for me, sorry.
No, by all means.
But I've got 2 teenage girls to take care of. So I thought, if I can help somebody else, other little girls, be stronger, more confident, believe in themselves, that's what I want to do. So it wasn't all bad because it got me to this point, but I don't want to ever see anybody else go through that. So I'm doing it through communication workshops, different types of programs, acting, speaking, kind of like pretty much what you're in. Make your own commercial, exciting things that kids would like that would help them not only have lifelong skills, but they've got to have some fun. We're talking about younger people up to teens. And I'm very excited, very passionate about it because I do believe in it. And I know as they have these skills and they also make connections with other girls and help each other, the sky's the limit. So I just, and I think it's necessary. I think it's something, again, from my personal experience, if I was a stronger person, I might have avoided what had happened. But, it all happens for a reason. So maybe that's why it happened, so I can create something fantastic out of it.
Well, as a father of a beautiful young daughter myself, I just want to say that, first off, you're strong for being here, just for doing this, for making this awful situation something that motivates you to do more. I just want to say on behalf of the Northeast Current audience and myself especially that you are definitely an asset not only to the community but in a world full of selfishness and greed and self-righteousness. You are one of the few people that I've met that truly stand out. I've been honored to have this opportunity to speak with you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. And thank you to Regina, the producer. You guys are great.
Absolutely. Regina is truly a one of a kind as well. But,
yes, she is.
But Andrea, thank you so very much for joining us today. And we're going to take this opportunity to thank you for joining us here on this emotional episode of the Northeast Current. We certainly have appreciated you joining us here. And as always, be sure to stay current with us here on the Northeast Current every Thursday morning, 6 a.m. In between times, be sure to watch all the great programming here on WQPX and check out our website at www.iontelevision.com. Again, that's www.iontelevision.com.